All right, here we are. So, to repeat myself, I'm sure people on streams get tired of me doing this, but I do this for people who watch later on YouTube. So, all you YouTubers out there, thanks for supporting. This is a must 2-1 or 3-0 situation for Dogao. Dogao actually has 2 sets to play. It's the final 2 sets. He's got this one up against BadBoy, which I think was played earlier this morning. We're casting it as Rex. And then later on this evening, we will have the live finale where Dogao goes against MBL, the winner of his group, right? So the way it stands, Dogao has 3 wins. ACCM has 7. But if Dogao were to get 4 wins, he would lose to ACCM on the tiebreakers. So Dogao needs to get 5 wins of possible 6, seeing as everybody else in the group has 3-0'd BadBoy. I think it is very important for Dogao that he also gets a 3-0 here because there's just no way he can easily get a 3-0 up against MBL. Now for BadBoy, it's a bit sad to say all these things. He's the only player who hasn't won a single dollar so far from this event. I think in all leagues, by the way. In Gold League, you get $20 per win. In Platinum, you get $40 per win. I might be wrong on that. I think there's one other player who doesn't have a win in Gold. Yeah, there's maybe 1 or 2. Fortunately for him, he will have placement prizes, so he will still earn money from participating. It's not like it's $0, even if you don't win a game, but he's been close in some games, right? And we saw similar things with other players who are unfortunately going to be relegated. They would get leads, and they weren't quite able to finish off the game against some of the big boys. So he has gone for the Malians. Malians have cheaper wood buildings, so we will likely see the Malians compete for water here. That's the same exact thing for the Japanese. They're fantastic on water. Only for them, they have the cheaper lumber camps, mills, mining camps. And then they have the tanky and strong fishing ships. So we'll see the dock over here for Dogao, and we'll see the dock down here for BadBoy. And honestly, the docking positions in relation to their bases is going to be a big talking point because it is quite easy for either player to send a villager over to this pond. Now, Dogao has wall potential. Some players will wall that off so it doesn't happen. And then you also have wall potential for BadBoy. But seeing as that's a common strategy, it's important to talk about how easy that is. Sometimes it's more awkward. Like, let's say Dogao's TC was here. It'd be a little more awkward for him to make it over here, potentially, and a bit more awkward for BadBoy to get around that. They don't know this stuff yet, of course, and they'll find out later. Yeah, Bloodless is also without a win, and then Stark has 2 sets to play. Got it, yep. Yeah, I think in Stark's case, he's, like, pretty much relegated. Or at least it seems like he's going to be relegated in that set, right? Or in that group. I'm normally not a big fan of Malians on this map, as much as I preach about their flexibility. I just haven't seen people dominating with the Malians. But then Backed happened, and when Backed beat Vinchester, I kind of changed my mind. And Backed went crazy on the transitional play. He went early to water, but then he just added the TCs and was farm booming as everyone else was focusing on the water. Remember, he shot up. It was even eco. Then all of a sudden, he's on 3 town centers with a 20 vill lead over Vinchester. BadBoy just lost a villager underneath his TC. So this is a fantastic start for the player who has yet to win a game. BadBoy. Dude, man, come on. That never happens. Top 24 in the world, BadBoy. Oh, sloppy stuff. Now, I don't actually know if this is the case. I saw them discussing some things with their scheduling thread. For BadBoy, his keyboard wasn't working this week, which is why things were delayed. He had to get a new keyboard. And then also, I think, like, I don't know if it's a keyboard issue or something else, but he said he might have to play in an internet cafe. So there could be some outside circumstances for him which are affecting things. But you just can't be losing villagers, man. It's like one of the most basic things in the game. I know that at lower levels, still lowering boards is a bit of a problem, but you do not see that every day. BadBoy handicaps himself a vill down now. He will click up to Feudal H. He will go 2 lumber camps. And if you look at his scouting, he knows precisely where Dogao is right now. Dogao also knows where his pond is. And Dogao is hoping to wall this off. And this is what we talked about earlier. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a vill head out that way for BadBoy. Slightly better scouting for BadBoy, I guess. As he scouted the dock, he now sees the gold. But for Dogao, I think he's just happy to protect his fish with some walls. I think he's expecting a sneak. So he's pulling the villagers back just in case. And he's also got the barracks, but great scouting from BadBoy on that. He'll see that there will be militia coming out. He learned that from Yo. Yeah, that was weird. Yo, what was it in that series? Didn't Yo lose like 2 villagers to a boar in the same series or something? Very, very peculiar. Yeah, there's just certain small things with some players that happen, and I'm just like, how are you so good with everything else? And then that happens to you. Like, Hera's shooting his boars down with his TC. I've done that once in like 6 months. And then he does it like 3 times in one set. I just don't fully understand it at times, you know? It shows they're human, though, and I guess that's good. Dogao will be slightly faster to the Feudal Age. And with that, he should be able to get some decent hits here on BadBoy. So he gets the Scout HP lead. And this is huge because now BadBoy has to run to another hill. And Dogao is actually sneaking with the villager. Wow, BadBoy is adding a galley at home. This will be interesting. That galley could deny what Dogao is trying to go for. And still Dogao is trying to kill this scout, which is so important on this map, and he does do so. I think BadBoy knows that man-at-arms are coming, though. So if he saw the barracks, and he saw the flag, he should know man-at-arms are coming. And he's prepping archers, so this will most likely be defensive on water with the galley, and then defensive on land with the archers. But I'm not seeing any small walls right now, and I'm incredibly worried that he's going to end up losing his villagers to this. It's Japanese man-at-arms. BadBoy, what's happening, man? This is rough. Even if he ends up keeping his villagers alive, he now has less villagers on wood. And also, guys, he's got a galley. And Dogao's going to sneak a dock up anyways. Oh, my God. Oh, you're kidding me. Dogao chops the tree so he can fit it as close to the edge of the map as possible. Oh, and now the man-at-arms are in over here as well. Not a good start for BadBoy. Credit to Dogao, though. He's walled up at home. He's playing into archers. Dogao's playing this perfect so far. He'll be able to take fishing ships out. He'll have fletching in for his ranged units. Something that does now come in for BadBoy. In the end, he was able to kill 1 villager with the man-at-arm attack. And when the fire ships show up, BadBoy is going to be incredibly frustrated. The other thing that's sad is that your galley doesn't win a 1v1 against a fire ship. So it's not like having Navy support here really even helps you. And Dogao will know he hasn't been spotted at this point. He's being extremely patient. He might even wait till he gets 2 fire galleys. I personally would just hop out with 1. Because then you just send all your new production right next to his dock and you can focus on the fight on land. Here's the fight. Dogao. Micros to the side there. And there's just no way where BadBoy will be able to keep his fish alive. Now he is adding a dock over here. Let's look at Dogao. Dogao scouted the shoreline so he doesn't see the dock. He's adding his own dock in the north. This is going to be incredibly difficult for BadBoy to hold. And now BadBoy, he's got the right idea. So he's placing a house here. He wanted to get vision on that area, but now he sees there's even another dock going up. I'm actually surprised that Dogao's going for 2 docks, but certainly not going to hurt as both players lose an archer there. There's now 2 fire galleys. It almost feels like the pond is already lost here for BadBoy. The right play was to add the galley. You can deny the docks if you have the galley at the time that he did. He just didn't know where it was. And seems like the guy's falling apart. He's got to deal with these archers over here. Dogao's just 3 steps ahead right now. The man-at-arms are brought over for this Vil. The galley's down. The fishing ships are down. The KD should be looking amazing for Dogao. You can tell BadBoy's microed there. He's able to pick off that archer, no problem. But Dogao should have this pawn secured. Dogao also checking the north and getting town watch, so he'll get more vision on his buildings. Dogao, he will see this dock in a moment. And if he sees this dock in the north, he could actually add some fire galleys here as well. Still has this 1 HP scout moving all around. Good on BadBoy, though, to transition to this pond. And he's going to be adding a fire galley. Yeah, Dogao is just trying to use the scout. Sometimes players don't remember it's a 1 HP scout. So he's trying to use the scout to kill the Vil, and then BadBoy realizes. Bad Boy's lost this pond. So I think you give up this one. And I think if you're Dogao, you add fish immediately. Dogao will know now he needs fire galleys in the north. We could even see, look at these house walls. Dogao is such a safe player with house walls. Got house walls all along the middle. Really shows you he's controlling the game. Because if you're, like, this is what happens in my position. I start to house wall the whole map, which takes forever. And then I'll lose my villagers to a couple archers because they don't have control over the game. And this freaking guy is actually going to kill the archer with his vill. Could even end up killing this villager from BadBoy if he wants to. Overall KD is 11-7. This is funny. We have repair villager going down. And then Dogao runs away with his repair villager and keeps her alive barely. Again, just dominance from the Brazilian. Do I have any Brazilians watching this stream right now? I'm not sure how many Dogao fanboys are out there. You have BadBoy on the way up, though. If you think about it, I mean, he did transition to the farms much faster than Dogao. I was about to say a little faster. Dogao primarily relying on fishing ships, and I feel like he was very late to adding fishing ships over here. Obviously, still has the 2 in the north, though. And if he wins this pond, which it looks like he could, he'll have 3 ponds to 0. But maybe BadBoy can do something with the faster castle age. We are here. Okay. Hey, let's... I can't speak Portuguese, okay? So... we'll chill on that, because I don't know what you're saying. You're probably making fun of my farms or something, but... not Brazilian, but rooting for the dog. Well, Dogao's he's such a great player, and he's a classic pro. You know, he's been around for a long time, so I always like to see the guy perform. And to be honest, I did have a little bit of questions on how he would perform in this event, and I don't think we'll have our answers until after this day is done, because right now, sitting at 3 wins doesn't look great, but he could easily end up with 9, and he could relegate ACCM, so... Actually, can someone remind me how many points Tato and Nikov have? I'm trying to remember, as now Dogao's score is just insanely high because of all the water control. I'm trying to remember if he were to get 9, if that puts him into 3rd or 2nd place, or if he's still in 4th. I guess we'll have to see. Anyways, BadBoy is up. Dogao continues to want to house wall the entire map and shows how much control that he has. He's playing into a lot of archers here. And this has to be somewhat all in for BadBoy, I feel. Forward Siege Workshop would make sense. Like, your eco just can't compete at this stage. So normally Forward Siege, this is a Knight Siege Monk play in most cases. 9 would give him 4th. Really? That's interesting. Tato's at 9, but he beat Dogao. How many set wins does Tato have? I guess Tato would have at least 2, right? But yeah, I guess if he's tied with Tato, and then he would get 4th anyways because of the tiebreaker. Tato has 3 sets won. Okay, makes sense. So, Dogao is simply fighting for survival over the next 6 games. Hasn't been the best game for BadBoy. I think we can recognize that. However, it's possible that he could still win it. He's got the siege in the perfect position. He's got the right army composition as well. And also, Dogao had to... This is the problem with house walling everything. Dogao had a hole here. He did save his villager. And he actually has to bring his crossbows over to defend from this. Also, oh, this is huge, though. Dogao got the other pond. He got the other pond. Yikes. Well, now, I don't know if you're ever going to be able to get +2 armor for these knights. 10 on food. About to be... Well, it'll probably stay as 10 on food, but still... It's about to get a whole lot worse, let's just put it that way. But guys, one thing Dogao has failed to do is scout the middle of the map. He's unaware that this was coming, and he could lose his monk and crossbows to the siege. He'll want a conversion, because what he doesn't have is knights. Oh god, that crossbow popped out the wrong side. If he can get the conversion, he can use the knight against the siege, and that's huge. BadBoy, if he loses this siege, it's going to slow down his push so much, and he does. So, you just have to hold, right? A couple more conversions, a couple more kills with your crossbows, and you've won this game if you're Dogao. He did clean up the knights in the back. He's adding a barracks now, so he's thinking pikemen. Pikemen's a good play here. You have all the food income from the ponds. He's got 16 fishing ships working. And he also has 2 town centers. I also love the decision to go to stone, because just in case it starts to get really bad, you could go for guard tower defense. You already have the university, so he might be thinking about guard tower. You don't need to take any unnecessary risks. The score will tell you everything you need to know. Your experience will tell you everything you need to know if you're Dogao. Obviously, a lot of his military is useless because it's on the ponds, but his land military count is still insane. It's still the same situation. Can he get conversions? You got to get Sanctity here, okay? I've talked about it a million times in this event. Get Sanctity for your monks, please, so the siege doesn't one-shot them. Might honestly not matter, though. He's got 70 eco. He's going to kill the siege there. Yeah, BadBoy. He's so all in, and he's just not making any progress. The Knights feel useless now. The siege feels useless now. The Ram's certainly useless at this point. And now BadBoy's going to switch into the TCs. So if Japanese take 2 pawns, that's still dangerous because of how strong their fishing economy is. But if they're on all 4, you are in big trouble, man. Crossbows have ballistics, by the way. The Knights still don't have full castle age armor, so they'll melt pretty quickly. And I think Dogao might even realize at this stage that this all-in is slowing down, and he might just choose to add the 3rd TC. Because he's definitely prepped, like, BadBoy's going to send everything he's got. But now BadBoy has stopped pushing. I'll credit BadBoy for that, because if Dogao sits behind his walls for long enough, BadBoy's on 3 TCs. And he still is not taking any losses to Dogao anymore. So, 29 to 20 KD. Dogao in the lead. The Knights are going to get in. And Dogao just says, oh, thanks, I forgot to build a house there, bro. I'm just going to make another house. Because that's what I do. House, 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 houses on all the walls. There's something, it's the Brazilian pros, man. It's like the training in Brazil. It's like you guys learn the alphabet, and then you learn how to house wall. The very Brazilian pro thing to do. Now, that's not, I'm not saying other people don't do it, but a lot of other players will palisade wall first, and then they will house wall later. Like, that's something that Yo does a lot. But, like this here, that's a very Dogao thing to do. Always has been. I don't know, like, depending on how the siege shots go, a lot could change here. Still does feel like Dogao is one big fight away from being able to win this game. He's got so much army. And, oh, yep. Siege goes down for BadBoy. A couple conversions there for Dogao. Dogao will focus most likely on taking out the siege workshop. He's got a knight now to help out with that. He's just going to wait. He knows it's going to pop out. He's probably... Attack round here, Dogao. Oh, that's so sick, though. That micro, though. Oh, my God. Move to the side with the crossbows after getting a volley off. And also is able to use his siege there. And yeah, this is forward castle territory for the Brazilian. I would love a castle right here if I were him. Still could be a siege shot here for BadBoy. But it's 89 eco. 63 army. Dogao has as much army as BadBoy has economy right now. BadBoy's going to fight. Gonna try. This would be the moment where he needs a big shot, though. He needs a big shot. He needs the Knights to somehow melt pikemen and avoid conversions. It's not even needing a miracle at this stage. It's needing a whole lot more than that. Dogao, don't lose your castle. Okay, he deleted the castle foundation just in case. Takes out the siege. There go the Knights. That's not something Dogao was expecting. But that's annoying. That's sneaky from BadBoy. The Pikes will have to go home to deal with that. Dogao will be annoyed. There is a world where this castle gets... That is one of the most tilting things to happen. That is one of the most tilting things to happen if you're in BadBoy's position. Ah, he had the right idea, too. Dogao was distracted. Oh, the monk now. Stop standing next to this beautiful arrangement of flowers, guys. It's a trap, okay? It's a trap. Don't stand under there. Yeah, I think Pity in the chat, he said it perfectly. I think this is a near-perfect game for Dogao. From the start to the man-at-arms, to the start with the dock, to transitioning to all the pawns. He really knew how to play this map properly. His crossbow mass has been high all game. He's about to click up to the Imperial Age, and BadBoy has to tap out. Dogao dominates. Now, we've seen many situations where player gets dominated one game, where they can get dominated maybe even a second game. But then that player who has been dominated has had enough, and then they win a third game. If that were to ever happen, if BadBoy gets a win against Dogao here, MBL will need, Dogao, will need a 3-0 against MBL later on tonight. And no one has been able to achieve that yet as MBL sits top of the group. So all I'm saying is, you can't just look at this series and say, okay, Dogao's going to win. Because that's not how this works. That's not how the group system works. It's based on how many wins you get. So yeah, Dogao might be a big favorite to win the series. But BadBoy could always shake things up here in the next two games. Somebody just said, BadBoy is like a tiger. And I was like, what? That makes no sense. And then they followed it up with endangered. That's so mean. Well, certainly the wins have been an endangered species for him in Titans League. He hasn't gotten a win yet. But that doesn't necessarily matter. Obviously, you'd like to still get more wins on the board, though, or get some wins on the board to get 40 bucks a pop. But when I say it doesn't matter, he can change things right now, and he could bring Dogao down with him if he were to get some wins. We have the Mayans for BadBoy. We have the Hindustanis for Dogao. This is really bad for the Mayans, guys. If things go according to the Hindustanis' plan and they can secure their stone, we've seen various instances where that Ghulam unit can destroy... Oh, wait a second, though. Tell me he sees the boar. Tell me that he sees the boar. Oh, my God, if he were to steal that. Okay, I have a lot to say, but Dogao... I think he knew the sheep were there because he was scouting with one of those sheep. And he saw it get lost, so he knows he's about to be lamed. Kudos to him. Well done to take that boar before it gets stolen. That is something that the Mayans can do early on against the Hindustanis. Get an early lead with that eagle. We have 300 food now going home towards BadBoy's base that belongs to Dogao. Also, we have the eagle attacking the villagers and being a pest. And could lead to a villager going down. Dogao's going to try and save it. BadBoy's desperate here. And he has to run away. Crazy. Okay, so let's look at the maps real quick. We do have to talk about the Civ matchup more. Map seems pretty good for both players. BadBoy's Woodlines being in the middle, though, will suck. But his starting situation's pretty solid. You could always wall over here. The gold in the wood position is always what you want to be the safest when you're playing as the Mayans. And this little chunk is perfect for him. He is, however, losing his eagle now to Dogao's scout, so he has to run all the way home. And this could affect him finding his own resources at home, because when he lamed, he didn't know where some of his resources were. So, like, there he is now. He's going to build a house there to get those turkeys brought in. Here comes his boar as well. I guess he might not be able to push deer, but he'll get the eagle protected, and he should be fine. Anyways, back to the Hindustanis, though. So they have the cheaper vills. They have the camels, which attack faster. So when they're up against a knight civ, there's that conversation. They've also got halbs. They've also got hand cannons. But when you're up against Aztecs and you're up against Mayans, you have the Ghulam now. Remember what Indians used to have. So Indians had camels that lacked the final armor, which made them solid, but it wasn't like it couldn't be stopped because of that. Like, archers were a little bit better against it, for example. Actually, archers were technically the same against the camels, I think. Maybe that statement was wrong. But anyway, so they had the camels, right? That much hasn't really changed, though there's some quirks and differences to it. But the unique unit for the Indians was the elephant archer. And that was always really clunky and awkward to get into. And one of the things that Indians used to really struggle against was all-in pikemen and all-in eagle. And so Indians could dominate a lot of civilizations that would go knights with their camels, but they didn't have a strong counter to eagle play. So the devs gave them Ghulam, and Ghulam's insane. So the Hindustan is one of the best civs in the game right now. Bonuses for everything, but the Ghulam is like an extreme bonus because not only is it anti-archer, but it has a bonus against eagle warriors. So it is probably the best counter to Mayans and Aztecs right now. I don't know if there's another one out there. Some people might say Goths. But they would only say Goths if the game were to go late, right? Goths with those Huskarls, obviously, can dominate the Mayans, but there's no eco bonuses to work with the Goths. All right. Has T90 giving us yesterday's workout review yet? Yeah, we talked about it for like 20 minutes. It was thrilling. So if you missed it, you're going to have to watch the VOD later. Or definitely not going to do that now. All right, so good job overall for BadBoy. He's got tons of food underneath his TC. He cooks up to Feudal Age. Dogao cooks up to Feudal Age. Dogao clearly doesn't have as much to work with. Losing that 300 food will set him back. He is recovering now, and he's going to use his scout to push in an extra deer or two. I believe this is his second one. He's going into militia, so this will be man-at-arms for both players. Lions have the cheaper archers. And I still think that going into Eagles is definitely something that's possible here. And the Gulam takes some time to get to, but the backstone is going to be safe there, and I'm sure Dogao will love to play safe here. House wall up as he likes to, play into archers, and just go to that stone maybe as he's on his way to Castle Age. Here comes the Tiger. And the Tiger's going to freeze. Nope, Tiger's going to attack, so that'll be awkward for Dogao. Actually, it could be extremely awkward because if he's being attacked by militia at the same time, it would hurt. Let's see who's patrolling and who's not. Dogao's patrolling, BadBoy's not, but BadBoy should realize this now. Yeah, he definitely knows. BadBoy's going to take the fight. That's a good start for BadBoy. I mean, he does have 20 more HP. And we have the Eagle here as well. Dogao's going to bring a scout, though. I think BadBoy might end up not getting man-at-arms in this situation. And I think, yep, Dogao cancels it as well. He realizes that it's probably not worth it, and so these militia just trade off. Sad times for them. They didn't get to live as upgraded beings, but this guy gets to survive for now. Very similar openings. There's the range for BadBoy. Just small things, right? Like this range going up with 2 villagers. This range going up with 1 vill. Both players getting their wood upgrade. That's standard stuff. Honestly, I do feel like not having those extra sheep is still affecting Dogao a little bit. But he's got the eco to be able to transition into farm, so that's not a problem. Dogao does have his scout. And so Dogao is able to scout and see exactly what BadBoy's up to. And he will have realized that BadBoy was a little later with the range. BadBoy going with an eagle and then also going with an archer. So that might catch Dogao out if he wants to move out. But again, I expect Dogao to play extremely safe here, right? Because I think if the game's somewhat even going up towards Castle Age, you can choose to try and get into the Gulams. That's easier said than done, though, right? Because archers could still overwhelm you. Dogao's scout's still active, looking for an army in the middle of the map. I don't think he's going to expect to see the eagle play. Not at this stage. Because eagles take a really long time to produce. Ooh, Dogao was looking for the archer, though. He missed it. That scout could have picked that off. And now he gets surprised. And Dogao under some pressure here. The militia looking to kill something. Fletching is already on the way for BadBoy. Dogao's blacksmith was denied, so he won't have that. But he is counterattacking at the moment. So he has to hold here, which he may or may not be able to do. And then he has to kill here. And both things are possible. I think having that scout means Dogao should get a villager pick, though. If he didn't have the scout, I think going without fletching would have been a bigger deal. Obviously, here not having fletching could be an issue. But he's using the villagers to fight it off. And very well played from Dogao. He does kill the villager. He does also pull the villagers off of the berries from BadBoy. And BadBoy has to send some units back to counter that. BadBoy looking to pressure and get a villager kill of his own. He does get the villager kill. And the eagle play was pretty decent, but in the end, he has to back away. Dogao will get fletching finally. Dogao will get his gold. So, is losing some skirmisher HP. You can tell which area players are focused right now. Dogao probably focused at home. And this will slowly get pushed back, and it's still a very close game. Also, the chat's fixed today. We had an issue with the overlay yesterday. It was a Streamlabs issue, apparently. But the fact that the chat color always changes trolls me so hard. I feel like one time his stream, I've got to change the chat color. Also, if you bear with me, I'll just show this eagle dying. There's nothing else happening. We have so many recordings stacked up. I need to delete some things here. Still haven't upgraded my storage yet, and we've had a lot of stuff being recorded recently. I'm trying to stay on the ball there, but then I also don't want to record or delete stuff that we haven't put on YouTube yet. So fingers crossed as I delete some old recordings here. Should be fine. Should be fine. They're old. Use a specific add-on for chat, or is it integrated? It's integrated. So it's a Streamlabs thing. At least with Twitch, there was a way where the names could change based on Twitch chat, but it's not something that works here. I don't think it works on YouTube either. So they just kind of like choose a color. I actually haven't looked at the settings, to be honest, though, so I might be able to set it myself. I have a terabyte of storage, but I record really high quality compared to what's streamed. Like, I think I stream 5K bitrate, and I think I record at like 20K or something. And I'm not sure if that results in a ton of added quality, but we always try to get as much quality as possible there. All right, so 12-8 right now with that KD. That scout from Dogao has been impressively active, but BadBoy's going all in here, guys. He should know that if this game goes on, that the Hindustanis can destroy him with the Gulams. And so he used the market. He sold his stone. He bought some food. And he's going into barracks. Dogao will see this. Now, if Dogao wasn't already thinking about going for Gulams, I feel like this would be the time to send some villagers to stone right now. But Dogao's adding a second barracks. So I think he will play into longswords against this. And I don't know. I don't mind the longsword play. I don't remember if Hindustanis get supplies or not. But some players have gone to stone at this stage, and then they tried to house wall out all the eagle pressure and go into the Gulam. I know the Gulam would be effective. But something that has maybe haunted Dogao, is that he does play the game very similarly to how he played it back in 2018. He can maybe be a little slow to adapt. So longsword isn't bad, but it is maybe more awkward if his opponent starts to mix in archers. I think the key for BadBoy is you go immediate forward siege workshop. So like, also he's scared there's going to be Gulams, which is a reason maybe why he won't do that. But yeah, so he won't be able to do damage right away because Dogao can fall back behind his walls. Smart thinking. But if he goes immediate siege workshop and goes siege eagle, this is all going to be very exposed. Now, if you go Gulam and you drop the castle on front of your base, you can hold from a siege push. But if you go longswords, you have to get man-at-arms, then you have to click the longsword upgrade, then you have to have the units. And siege is also very good against that. We'll see. A BadBoy's looking for damage. I don't think there's a hole there. House could go down. Dogao will gladly place another house, and I think he'll be happy so far that he hasn't taken any losses. Also, I love how active he is with his scout. He's going to check the middle of the map right now, probably. That's top tier. You could easily be lazy and not do that. But he will probably confirm his suspicions. With that uptime from BadBoy, he will know it was a market play. He loses his scout now. Here he repairs a house. Here he repairs a house. There the Eagles are attacking a range. We have long swords now for Dogao. But I feel like BadBoy should know this. And so instead of adding more mangonels, you should be adding scorpions. So it's a little disappointing for BadBoy. He only has 2 barracks. Eagles still do take some time to mass up. Dogao pulls back. Dogao's army is definitely strong right now. But with the siege being in the mix, it makes it awkward. He's not gone for the second TC. He's not gone to stone. Remember, he needs 5 wins of 6 games. He's got 5 more games remaining. 2 more against BadBoy. 2 more against MBL, the leader in the group. He's gone for his own siege workshop right now. And I like it from BadBoy. It's patient play. And if you can take out the barracks, it obviously makes the longsword play a little bit more sketchy. Some situations I wouldn't necessarily mind. Nice hit. I wouldn't necessarily mind seeing more archers as well if you're BadBoy. But I think he's pretty well committed at this point. He's even going to add in some monks. And every time a longsword runs that way, he hits it with an attack round, which is awesome. But he doesn't know that Dogao is his own siege. Now he does. Oh, God. Oh, God. The worst possible position for a siege. At least he takes out the Manga now. Now take out the barracks. It's on 14 HP. Oh, he can't. You're kidding me. He can't do it. Oh, my God. You're kidding. And that snowball, that could have been, should have been maybe, just disappears because BadBoy overextends. Honestly, his build was fine, but he didn't know about Dogao's siege, and he got a little too aggressive. You know, a sign of a player who is talented, but is clearly not confident in trying to break the big boys, is that they try and do too much sometimes, and then they overextend, and these guys have just been waiting. Oh, Dogao's going to wreck now. The Scorpions on their own. They're going to die to the longswords and the crossbows. The Eagles are in, though. So the barracks goes down. And, uh-oh, wait a second. This is going to get really awkward for Dogao. Dogao could lose a lot of eco to this. Wow, so 6-1 eco KD. Wait a second. Dogao's falling apart. And here I thought it was fine. Everyone's calling GG, I think, because the push got stopped. But the barracks went down. Dogao's lost 11 vills. And he was on 1 TC. Oh my God. Remember this, if BadBoy gets a win, he's basically giving an assist to his comrade in ACCM, because ACCM would be relegated if Dogao gets 5 wins. Oh my God, that was an amazing raid. And this is going to be an incredible game now, because Dogao's down to 26 vills. Dogao needs to kill fast, man. Dogao needs to kill so fast. Oh my goodness. 27 vills. All because that barracks went down. Dogao didn't get a repair in or a house wall behind. So, let's see. Dogao, he's going to be up against Crossbowman from BadBoy. BadBoy will know he killed a lot of villagers there. The score said this is very close. I don't think Dogao will realize he lost that many vills. Because he did have army there. The Eagle raid was kind of short-lived. But man, he didn't land a single quick wall there either. These Eagles, they'll happily die if it means the longswords aren't pushing the main eco. Oh, we now see the 3rd TC here for BadBoy. I don't know, though. I'm actually concerned for BadBoy. Look at his economy. His economy is clearly an economy that was built up towards massing siege and Eagles. And he doesn't even have crossbow yet. So he really needs to get his mass up. And I could see him overextending a little bit. If he has like 15 crossbows, he's fine. But he needs to get that number up quickly. The 3rd TC, when you have this big of a vill lead, is not a necessity. What's important is the army mass, so you maintain that big lead that you have. How is that allowed? Well, I just don't think he expected BadBoy to run through. BadBoy, he was losing his entire push, right? Usually players fight to defend that. I just don't think he was expecting it. There's the long swords here and the crossbows, slowly trying to take out the archer range. This might lead to BadBoy making another archer range. But honestly, if I were him, I would just whittle down the crossbows. At this point, you don't really need to care about the long swords. You see what I mean? If you go Gulam, the Gulam can deal with the crossbows, and they can also deal with the eagles. I just don't know, like, does Dogao have enough experience with the Gulam, seeing as it's a relatively new unit? I think a lot of other players would have gone to stone earlier. Also, love it from BadBoy as he goes in for another counterattack. He does add another range. 64 villagers versus 33. If Dogao loses this, he can't lose another game. Otherwise, he's relegated in this group. He's only got 8 crossbowmen. It's going to be 8 in a second here for BadBoy. BadBoy's on 3 TCs. Sure, the idle TC time's climbing. But his civilization should be dominant here. There's the TC for Dogao as he just now adds a bit more in the way of eco. I think the timing on Dogao's TC is probably fine. The longswords cost a lot of food, so you can't boom and make longswords in early Castle Age. His approach was completely fine. Obviously, losing the villagers hurt him. I think adding the 2nd town center could have maybe come in a little bit earlier, but then you're... You know, it's because you're applying a lot of pressure and focus and trying to deal with an awful lot. I love the house wall there behind to keep himself alive, but it's 70 villagers versus 36. I think maybe he thinks he's 15 behind, maybe 20. I don't think he would know that he's 35 villagers behind right now. That's just insane. BadBoy will eventually drop a castle. BadBoy will eventually have ballistics. BadBoy should dominate the rest of this game. The Gulam is really Dogao's only hope. Remember, BadBoy has not won a single game. He's had some great games, but he hasn't been able to close any out. I also believe he's playing either on a new setup, because he said he had a keyboard issue, which is why we delayed things. Or maybe he's not even at his house right now. He said he might need to play an internet cafe, so I don't actually know. I do know that playing at internet cafes is also like quite common, I think, in Vietnam. I think it's something that he might be well accustomed to. Clearly, he's in good shape right now. And the raid was really what changed the game. The previous game, I think, was a little unlucky. Dogao looked brilliant with the sneak dock. Man-at-Arms. Also, you know, pressure the first game in the series. Sometimes you underperform at the start. But yeah, Dogao's in trouble, man. Dogao's in trouble. He won't have any access to gold pretty soon. I guess he is actually adding some siege here to defend this gold. But this position's awful, and this position's awful. Meanwhile, we have a 4th TC for BadBoy. Catherine, the first series was really solid. I won't spoil it if you want to go back and watch it, but that was Jordan versus Miguel. And that closed out Group A. We have this series. And then in like 3 hours, we have Dogao versus MBL. I will take a break between this series and Dogao versus MBL, so I won't be online all day. But right now, I mean, there's a chance that Dogao goes into that set against MBL. And it's a must-win, must-sweep against the best player in the group. 4 TCs is a lot with Mayans. Like, that is very uncommon. It looks like he wants a forward castle here. You can tell he wants to finish Dogao off here, but you need to be a little bit careful. Has so much confidence in his crossbows, though. He knows how how slow the longswords are. He's going to split micro that, no problem. Well played from BadBoy here. I don't even know if he needs the forward castle, but he can do it. He can do it. No, don't place it there. Yeah, place it more forward, man. Yeah, there you go. Great micro from BadBoy. Great recovery from BadBoy after it looked like his push was lost. I thought this was going to go the other direction. And this is over. Dogao has no answer. Just now he can drop a castle, but his opponent's already on the way to Imp. BadBoy's getting relics all around the map right now. Dang. I can say all the things they do, but for some reason I'm stuck at 1100. Well, knowing what to do in the moment is a completely different animal, right? And even all the way up to like the top couple hundred, consistency is a big thing as well. That's what makes a good player. You can do 9 out of 10 things right in a game, but that 10th thing could completely blow your lead. You could just throw your position. That happens all too frequently. Like in this game is a perfect example of that. Dogao did virtually everything right, but he had a hole in his wall, and then he couldn't recover with the eagle raids, and it ended the game. What a great castle spot for BadBoy. Dogao is going to go for Siege Elephants. Don't think that'll be enough to take this castle out. He's desperate again, like we said. I think playing into Longsword, I guess, wasn't really the issue. It was just the execution of it, but imagine if he doesn't go Longsword and he just house walls the front of his base and he had gone to stone and drops a castle. The siege push never accomplishes anything. He might be pushed off of gold temporarily, but I think he gets a safe castle. I think he ends up being okay. Longsword play doesn't work. BadBoy gets his first win. 40 bucks in the bank for him. And now Dogao needs to win the next 4 games he plays. Sick stuff there from BadBoy. And I said it. I said it after game 1. I was like, listen. How good you play in one individual game doesn't matter. You have to be consistent. Get your results. Put the wins on the board. Dogao's in big trouble right now. Also, the next game, I think it's going to be on a map that BadBoy's pretty good on. Can we look at that? All right, game 3. As expected, we have BadBoy go for the Chinese, one of the best civilizations for their start on houseboat. Dogao had Japanese, and instead of going for the Japanese, Dogao has gone for the Byzantine. Now, chat, can you remind me who went for Byzantines recently on Houseboat? I think it was Tato. I forget who he was playing against, though. I think he went Byzantines against... It might have actually been in his series against Dogao. But he went Byzantines and he went forward dock. And with the forward dock, he ended up controlling the game. So maybe Dogao saw whichever game I'm talking about, or maybe he was on the other side of it. Again, I forget exactly. But just to restate, as we've been doing a lot here in the final round, what everything means. If BadBoy wins one more game, Dogao is relegated and he goes down to gold for the next season. If Dogao wins this game, Dogao then goes in up against MBL in his final round, which will be later today, and he needs to win all 3 games. So if there were Vegas odds right now, if you were talking percentages even on the odds for Dogao to stay in this league, stay in Platinum, I would say the odds are not looking too good. The bright side for him, though, if he gets this win, is that MBL is already first place guaranteed in his group. And so, the level of importance isn't necessarily there for MBL. It's a Friday night. There could be a couple different factors going into how MBL plays. But the thing about MBL is MBL. And even if he's underprepared, he's always a beast. He's always playing on his level. So that should be crazy later on today. Yeah, okay, so Seb says, isn't this a great map for a forward tower? I think you were the one who said there would be a forward tower from Tato. But I forget who he did it up against. I think it might have been Dogao. Also, D-Ben, this is Rex. I think this happened earlier this morning. And then the series we do later on today is live. And apparently that's been delayed to 22:30 GMT. Which, again, in Norway is, like, right after midnight. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's tough, right? You've got the European time zone, and then you've got Brazil. So, there's a big gap there between times. But it is going to be quite late. So, could be one of the things we discuss when that happens. But that'll be really good for people in my time zone, too, right? Because, like, not every day that I'm casting sets at, like, 6:30 p.m. onwards. Might be good from some of my Australian audience out there. Anyone who's on the other side of the world. So I think with Chinese, I would expect some type of pressure from Dogao. I think the risk is if Byzantines get their docks up, their docks have more HP. And then Byzantine fires also work faster. So that would be the #1 strategy I would expect from Dogao. So I would probably play this into a fast-ish feudal age and play into double docking my own pawn. But you could be wrong. Obviously, all right, could be wrong. I do think we'll see that. I'd be surprised if we see anything else, but you never know. Pretty early loom here for Dogao, though. That could be that he wants to click up here. Pedro. I don't know when you left, but when you left, I'm sure Dogao was in a leading position in the previous game. Bad things happen to Dogao's economy, let's just put it that way. And bad things happen to Dogao's chances as well. Okay, there's loom. Normally you're getting loom right before you click the feudal age, especially if you're going to send 2 villagers out across the map. That is what Dogao will want to do here. Can he actually get the food for this, though? Still 100 food away. He's idling his TC. He's going to drop off food with everything. He should be fine, but he's still idled a lot for this. And there he goes. And so there he goes to feudal. There go his villagers. And his villagers are going to attempt to do a bit of a loop-de-loop. Probably over here. It's a perfect spot because you know that your opponent has docked the front. BadBoy. He went for the mill. That's fairly standard. Taking the berries and the shorefish there. Also, nice little low elo mining camp there that works for the stone and the gold. But he has not clicked up yet. So this timing for Dogao could work, but it's almost so fast. Oh, God, as he traps the scout. Oh, what a play from Dogao. He traps the scout. He'll kill it with the villagers. Scout down. BadBoy might not even know this is happening, but I think when he sees Dogao's feudal age time, he should have some suspicions. Dogao will only be able to afford 1 dock. So no way for BadBoy to be able to scout this. Dogao has scouted everything. And wait a second. He can see that? What in the world? Dang, man. Okay, he can see it. He adds the second dock now, so he has an idea of what's coming. And Dogao now has about 2 minutes to make fire galleys before BadBoy can even start his production. Ooh, BadBoy's going to show up with vills to try and deny this. He just wants to take the villagers out of here. And I really like the idea. And he's actually going to use the transport ship to block this off, I think. Dogao was able to get walls down, though. And for now, Dogao's villagers are safe. Actually, you know what was smart here for Dogao is how he left this gap. And I don't know if BadBoy is going to want to have his transport there. BadBoy really wants to kill those villagers, but BadBoy, you could lose your transport ship. Dogao needs to wall again. You can't lose your vills here. BadBoy's panicking. And yeah, now the transport ship for BadBoy will most likely go down. Now, that's what I would go for. I think killing the transport ship is better than killing the fishing ships originally. But big problems for BadBoy at the moment. So far, so good with this strategy. Look at BadBoy. 3 docks. So he really wants to recover here. All the pressure is over on BadBoy's side. Dogao's unable to kill the fish. Dogao's about to have, sorry for the dinging, about 3 fire galleys. He was housed pretty badly, though. Just had to add the house at home. And even his fire and his scout are going to come over here and disrupt the villagers on this side, too. So good start for the Brazilian. You see situations on Houseboat where the player comes forward with the faster fires than the defensive player, because they had more villagers on different resources, they're able to hold and push this back. But we are talking about the Byzantines, and this is a really fast start here for Dogao. Now, all new villagers should garrison inside your TC if you're Dogao, if you're BadBoy, because then you can shoot the fire ships down. But I think he's going to lose his transport ship. Yeah, now he needs to not only defend himself, but he has to make a new transport ship. And if you make a new transport ship, then you're screwed, because then you're not producing another fire galley. So this might be over. And I forget who it was, but I saw Tato do this against somebody in this group. And, oh, man, BadBoy. Oh, the demo actually gives him some hope. And here we have a villager attacking. I think BadBoy wanted to dock this. Byzantines also get free town watch, so they get lots of vision at home, which is nice. I think the idea from BadBoy was to send some pressure over to the other person's pond, which is smart. Eco-wise, it's 34 to 32. You do have quite a few villagers here that can't work, though. So, you know, unless you get a transport ship out, all these villagers are just going to supply some arrow fire, and that's basically it. Does feel like he's close to recovering on water, but I keep checking, and he's not producing out of this dock at all, guys. He loses a vill there. There he goes. Now he's producing out of this dock. Dogao with a sneaky demo. There might be a demo coming out, though, from BadBoy. Chinese do also have more HP on their demos, which is quite nice. Allows you to get a little bit closer to the enemy. These guys are still chasing. Now there's a new villager chasing Dogao. And this is peak Age of Empires, my friends. Peak Age of Empires. Boom! See what I mean? See how strong it is? You see how it didn't go down there? BadBoy could still be in this. Normally, with that micro from Dogao, you're in a good spot and you take out the demo. I think this is still somewhat manageable for BadBoy. He does have a transport. He does have more fire galleys now. And he can start to send his villagers over to work. Dang. Yeah, I feel like a demo on the gold would have been nice, but at the same time, really hard to get over there, right? And no way! BadBoy's gonna get a dock up here! Okay, Dogao's gonna send... No, he doesn't see it! No way! This might be 2 games in a row where Dogao has an incredible start and BadBoy brings it back. Oh, man, the repair villas are not working out. Meanwhile, the repairing for BadBoy is working perfectly. Tricky stuff. It's going back and forth. But this dock, man, if BadBoy starts producing from this, would just devastate Dogao. Dogao doesn't have a single ship. He doesn't think that he has to. Great job from BadBoy to stay alive. What in the world? You can tell how tough it is. You've got to still send villagers around. Demo's on the way. Dogao might be distracted. Dogao might be distracted. Get the Vills. Gets one of them. Still so close there. This dock is still not producing. Oh, there it is now. Do you add a second dock? I think you do. I think you do. I can't believe Dogao can't see that. Dang, man. He might notice it soon. Like, if he makes a mill here, the mill might give him vision to see that. But, oh, jeez, dude. Dogao is going to be in Castle Age faster. He will be able to dominate the water here in Castle Age. That's how this game is going. But if he starts to lose at home... I mean, you could even lose your TC. Wow, those are some fast fires right there. Those are being repaired like crazy. Okay, now Dogao will know. Let's see how fast Dogao's reaction is. All right, so now he adds a fire galley. I think you actually need a second dock at home to be safe. There it is. He also brings over his villagers to stop the repairville. And Dogao's done an excellent job with his forward villagers to get repairs. Obviously, he's got one now, though, which may or may not be enough. Another transport ship could go down for BadBoy, or the fishing ships. And then there, Dogao can lose a villager, but now Dogao at least has fires. But notice how the resources for Dogao have all is changed a bit. It looked like he was going to click up first. Transport ship's still around and alive for BadBoy. BadBoy's now going to chase these fires down because they're weak and can't be repaired. But there's about to be a demo for Dogao, so Dogao could end up evening up the score here. And he was definitely trying to hide his ships. Great job from BadBoy to pull back. Needs to repair that one. And now here he is. And this is an incredible game. This is so crazy. 16 to 17 KD. Could swing either way still. The eco is very close. It is very, very close. I love this for Dogao. I love how he's taken what was probably 4 deer. Also, he'll take the sheep. Those are the types of things that are underrated on this map. And he's still remaining a threat here while also still trying to defend here. I still give Dogao the lead. I still give him the edge because it's a water war and Byzantines are dominant on water. Especially because of this engagement. You can tell that BadBoy's struggling to keep up with everything. But who knows? And here comes Dogao. He should see this. I think he needs to kill that Vill. And BadBoy needs to save this Vill. I think he noticed. But Dogao might sacrifice everything just to kill her. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Just deny that dock. That dock is denied at 69%. And that is not so nice. Maybe Dogao's okay now. Dogao is missing his buildings, guys. There's the market and the blacksmith. So he's had the resources. Hasn't clicked up yet. And there's a world where this becomes an even game going towards imp still, guys. This is an incredible houseboat game. Because if BadBoy gets his techs... BadBoy can clean up the docks that Dogao has on the front. I think what Dogao is really lacking right now is repair villagers. If he had repair villagers, I would give him a greater shot in this situation. That said, I mean, the Byzantine fires are insane. BadBoy's got to be like, are you kidding me? Also, will there be a demo here? I don't think so. BadBoy needs more on gold. We also have starting scout and 2 weak villagers from Dogao over here. Now BadBoy sees this. I like how he worked through all that gold from the first one. Like, that's a lot of gold. Still producing here. Being to the next stage faster. With 3 docks should be huge. Should make a big difference. Does he have a market? He needs to sell at the market. He doesn't actually have the resources. But man, Byzantine fires are insane. See, normally 1 villager can repair against 2 fires. But you can't keep up with it if it's Byzantines. There's the upgrade. That dock foundation will just stay there. We have a stable now for BadBoy. But he can't even afford to make knights, so I don't know what's going to happen. Villagers still have to be ferried across, too. Like, this must be so difficult for them. But at least for Dogao, he has better food eco. Because he has fishing ships working. He also has the berries. Oh, this is so nice. BadBoy has that, but that's also right next to an outpost, so Dogao could go hit that. Dogao's going to make a camel. Dogao's going to have archers. Dogao will see the TC there from BadBoy. As BadBoy tries to push back on water. But they are still Byzantine fire ships, so maybe Dogao could still remain a threat here. Trying to... And yeah, he's taking some big hits. Ultimately, I still prefer Dogao's position because of the transitional economy. Let's see if he takes the transport ship out. Yep, he's like, thank you. Just passing. Dogao's food eco is looking really smooth. He should be in a better position to research technologies, and that's saying something against the Chinese. And he still has the potential for some big demos here. He's going to hop out with one. Boom. That's a good one. That's a really good one. And he's got another one waiting in here. And he gets another. And that's another massive demo hit. BadBoy still cannot send his villagers to the shoreline from the TC now. He does have this, though. He does have this. He also has Knight running forward. And I guess there's camels for Dogao, but he just hasn't used it yet. He will be able to defend from that, most likely. Has anyone tried deleting the starting TC and rebuilding on land? Surely it takes time to transport all the vills. But it would be worth it. If you do that, then you're not spending the wood on other things like ships. And that's also a period of time where you can't produce vills. So yes, it does happen, but normally it happens when you're dying. So it's not like a winning move. It's oh, this is really bad. It's still less than ideal. Obviously, that is only because everyone is able to manage things on this map at the high level. It is very complicated. I'm sure like lower elo, it would make more sense to just say screw it. But because these are peak competitors, they're able to manage it. And if you're able to manage it, you should be doing that instead of taking the easy way out. Like, look at Dogao's wood count, for example. Like, he's at the limit, right? So he's spending his res all the time, whether that be on farms or ships or TCs. So, you know, for him to just delete this, he's down a production building and then spends all that wood unnecessarily. I think Dogao is going to win this game. I mean, for a second, it looked like BadBoy had brought it back. Honestly, well played from him. But while BadBoy's vill count is decent, a lot of those villagers are right here, guys. And BadBoy can't stop a castle. BadBoy can't counterattack, really. I mean, BadBoy can't even stop 2 archers. He is merely trying to boom and defend himself on water. And he is not winning the water war either. Dogao's eco is looking very nice. 500 food in the bank. Castle drops in the perfect spot. Oh, God. They also have food in their hands, guys. They also have like 20 plus food in their hands. How are they not dead yet? Okay, he realizes, and now he's like, do I call the GG? Do I call this one, or do I fight? What do I do? He goes, oh, you know what? I'm going to place the TC here. That seems smart. Oh, he beat me to it. Do I call the GG now? Oh, that sucks. He's looking at something else right now. Oh, the cataphract shows up. Yikes, the camels are here. Okay, that's got to be it. That's surely got to be it. I mean, he's still trying to deal with this. So he just assumes the TC is going up. And then when he finds a moment, he's going to look over here and realize the TC didn't go up. So this TC will get taken out. I mean, who knows if he'll even keep this TC alive? I still don't think he knows. But Dogao will know, and Dogao will know that he's going to get this win here. But it still means that he needs to get a 3-0 up against MBL. Otherwise, he's relegated. It's a great game from him. I love the strat, and I love the execution. And thought I would say the same thing in game 2. But the execution, I guess, was what was lacking there. Demo goes in for the vills. Dogao doesn't want to waste a demo on a weak fire ship. Also, this has been spotted, which is just sick. Oh my god, Dogao checked the corner. He finds villagers, and this is over, BadBoy. He'll add another TC. Feels like he could bring it back because he's brought back games from the dead before. But what he doesn't know is how good Dogao's economy is from here. And Dogao, honestly, he can just kind of take his foot off the gas, get his eco upgrades, start to farm a little bit. I don't even think he needs to continue to be so stubborn here. I think at this point, you're looking so good on land that you you don't need to invest any more resources here. But I guess the more you invest into these docks, and there's BadBoy deleting this TC finally. The more you invest into this, the more BadBoy feels he needs to defend. But yeah, I mean, he gets the wood upgrade, he gets his farm upgrade, something that his opponent can't really even afford. And this might go to the Imperial Age at this stage. We'll see. Now, BadBoy calls it GG. I was going to say, if it goes to Imp, obviously Dogao's going to win. Dang. All right, so that's the end of Titans League for BadBoy. Positive, obviously, he ends with a victory. He does get that $40 bonus, plus whatever the placement prize was, which I think is $100 or $200. Sad for BadBoy, obviously. To only get one win, wasn't close to deserving to move on out of Group D, which everyone has considered the group of death. He'll move down to Gold League for the next season. I think BadBoy's one of those players who will be one of the favorites to actually get promoted again. But he did underperform here a little bit and also was up against some great competition. The final set in all the group stage and the final set in Group D, though, will be Dogao versus MBL. And Dogao has to win 3-0, otherwise he's relegated as well. Dogao right now has 4 wins, but he will need to get to... Wait, does he have 4 wins? He does have 4 wins. He needs to get to 7. And if he were to get to 7, if he does 3-0 MBL, he will relegate ACCM. That's the situation. So, obviously, you know, BadBoy... Also, wait. Did you see this at the bottom right? That must be... Wait, what? That has to be a bug. So that's the Relic victory countdown. And hold on. You can't see it because I have this image here. That's the Relic victory countdown. Was there only one Relic on this map? I think this is a bugged map gen. BadBoy's like, give me a re. Also, Dogao didn't host with the right settings. Because it's supposed to be Conquest. But yeah, that is the Relic countdown. And when did that come in? Oh my god. Okay, so this is kind of funny. Robo says it's had 1 Relic all tourney. Really? Has it really? I don't think that's supposed to be the case. I never noticed it. But watch when the GG comes in. So Relic gets collected. And then the weird noise. That sounded like a camel. Sorry, I confused camel noise. It's like, I can't do the sound effect, okay? But whatever that sound effect is, it went off. And then BadBoy's like, must have thought, oh, he has all 5 relics and I'm behind. And then he called the GG. So BadBoy might have actually played on longer if not for that setting not being there. But yeah, we'll have to look into that. I think it should have 5 relics instead of just 1. And it definitely shouldn't be on Relic Victory anyways.